Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Light Silver Loveland. This is Justin, and today I want to talk about mental health. So, one of the biggest things that has happened to me on this whole journey that I've taken through learning about ETs and, you know, different states of consciousness and all these different things is I have improved my mental health a whole lot compared to where it was just a few years ago. I was struggling with depressive thoughts and just not in a good mental state. I was heavily drinking and trying to suppress things that I had suppressed for years and years, from being in the military to dealing with traumas with my son growing up, having to have open heart surgery when he was 4 months old, and diagnosed with autism when he was 2. And then dealing with my daughter with all kinds of disruptive behavior through school and getting kicked out of one school to have to go to another school. And I just really suppressed and didn't want to deal with any of those feelings. So I just would drink and do whatever I needed to do to not have to deal with that. And through this whole journey, I found meditation and different ways to heal and cope with these things that I haven't dealt with for a really long time. So today I decided I really want to focus on mental health because I think it's very important, and it is what I try to put first now. I try to think about what I'm doing, what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my body, because I can now feel how it affects my mental health state or my physical body. So I've stopped drinking alcohol now 15 months ago today, and I quit drinking caffeine shortly after I quit drinking alcohol. I also quit eating junk food. I try to cut out all kinds of bad stuff that I had in my life that hasn't been serving me. And I did use cannabis during my period where I quit drinking, which helped me a lot. And I'd have nothing really bad against cannabis. I think it's great for muscle recovery. I work a physical job, but I realized recently that I was still using that as a crutch. So I am now completely sober of everything. And I would like to think it was only from meditation and all these different things, but I also have to thank psilocybin mushrooms for helping me on this journey. And I know not everybody has access to that. Luckily, I live in a state where it is legal to grow and cultivate your own. And in 2023, out of nowhere, I decided I wanted to do a science experiment and try growing my own. And through that process, it was actually really fun. And afterwards, I just learned a whole lot about psilocybin mushrooms and different strains. And just, I think there's a problem with education, mainly because they're illegal in a lot of places and you can't get them. Um, but yeah, I think education is really important when it comes to psychedelics. So I ended up growing a strain that was very beginner friendly, not really visual. It was very inward looking and reflective, and that helped kind of break me free of my hardened belief systems that I had been stuck in for so long. And it's truly a shame that these medicines have been made illegal, because I believe if they were available to everyone, it would solve the mental health crisis that is sweeping this country. There are more people addicted to pharmaceuticals now, more so than ever, and there are multiple medications, and it's just, here's a medication. Oh, that one's no longer suiting you? Here, let's up your dosage. Oh, now let's change medications. Oh, now you can't sleep, so here's another medication for sleeping. Oh, now you can't wake up in the morning? Here's something to help you wake up. And it doesn't solve the root problem. It just kind of masks the problems and doesn't get you anywhere. And it's a model that's set up for subscription. They want you on their medications for life. That's how they're making their money. And through education, just learning about the way the pharmaceutical model works, and also how food in the United States is made, a lot of it has these processed chemicals that are highly addictive that they put into it that have really negative health effects. So I've really tried to cut all of that junk food out. I, and if you want to say anything bad about psychedelics, like in my experience, they helped me get to quit drinking alcohol, which I drank heavily for a decade plus. I was going through a case of tall boys every 3 to 4 days when I was in the military, dealing with depression. And after I got out of the military, I continued to just drink heavily. I was drinking through a 12 pack of IPAs in a couple days, and I just first thing I got home, crack a beer, go out to a restaurant, order a beer. Didn't matter what time of day it was. I just wanted a drink, and it was so freeing when I finally stopped, realizing, oh, I can drive anywhere I want any time of the day. I don't have to worry about drinking and driving. I can do whatever I need to. I feel better. I feel healthier. And I just really want to help in this mental health crisis that this community is going through. And I feel like if I can share my story, you can see that there are different avenues. You don't have to go down psychedelic route. You can get into meditation, and that's where I'm at now. I haven't done any mushrooms for like months at this point. That's the other thing about them. You only need to do them once to a handful of times to have lasting, life-changing benefits. And it got me closer to God, which I know God's a loaded word, so I say closer to source and my spirit. And I was not a religious person. I considered myself atheist. I didn't believe in anything. I thought when we die, that was it. I was stuck in the material world, and that they have groomed us to be in. Over the last however many decades, basically since the 70s when they outlawed psychedelics due to one, racism and trying to stop the protest on the Vietnam War, which we should have never been a part of. Because the thing is, once you start working with psychedelics, you're realizing that we're living life completely wrong. We shouldn't be fighting. We shouldn't be killing each other. We're all pieces of each other. And I just want to get society to a point where we're helping each other build up to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. So, yeah, like I said, it's given me a whole new mindset. I was able to drop those old belief systems, and I became closer to source and spirit, and I'm just so grateful, and I try to live in a state of gratitude as much as I can. And one of the hardest things for me to drop was the victim mentality. Like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why do the bad things always happen to me? And what I learned through my experiences was they were all lessons. They all taught me very valuable things. And now I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can persevere through these bad times when they occur, and I don't have to let them get to me and impact how I'm feeling. So, yeah, I just wanted to take a little bit today to talk about mental health because I think it's very important. I think that as a society, the way that we're getting treatment and everything is just the wrong way to go about it. And I am hopeful for the future as these medicines become more available and more states begin to legalize and actually start studying and realizing that these have lasting beneficial effects that sadly the pharmaceuticals don't want, because they can't profit off of it. You can't profit off a medicine that someone only has to take once and they're better. I think coupling that with therapy and working with psychedelic therapists so you can talk through your journeys, because people talk about the bad trip, and it's not really so much a bad trip, it's just refusing to deal with what the medicine is showing you and trying to teach you and exposing you to what you've really been suppressing. So, yeah, I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks so much for checking out this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.